Up to 50% of adults over 60 have trouble sleeping, either falling asleep, staying asleep, or both. And if you stretch that to people over 65, some studies put the number even higher, between 50 and 70%. So if you're lying in bed right now watching this at 2 in the morning because you can't fall back asleep, first of all, welcome. You're in the right place. And second, you are far from alone. But here's why this is so much more than just an annoyance. A study that followed adults for over 20 years found that people with persistent insomnia had a 98% increased risk of dying during the study period. 98%. That's nearly double the mortality risk. Not from cancer, not from a car accident, from not sleeping. And even people with intermittent insomnia, the kind that comes and goes, still had a 54% increased risk. On the flip side, and this is the number I want you to remember, men who regularly achieve good quality sleep add an extra 4.7 years to their lives. For women, it's an extra 2.4 years. Almost 5 extra years of life just from sleeping well. Not from a pill, not from a surgery, from sleep. So today I'm going to explain exactly why sleep changes after 60. And I'm going to bust one of the biggest myths about aging and sleep. And then I'll give you 7 proven tips you can start tonight to sleep better without medication. I'm Walter, let's get into it. Let's start with the myth, because this one drives me crazy. How many times have you heard someone say, well, older people just don't need as much sleep? Or, it's normal to sleep badly when you get older, or that's just part of aging. It's not true. Researchers have been very clear about this. There is not a decreased need for sleep as you age, and sleep disturbance is not an inherent part of the aging process. Let me say that again. Bad sleep is not a normal part of getting old. So why do so many seniors struggle with it? Because aging is associated with more chronic conditions, more medications, more pain, more stress, and more life changes. And all of those things can disrupt sleep. It's not your age that's stealing your sleep. It's the stuff that comes along with your age. And the difference matters, because one you can't change and the other you absolutely can. Now let me show you what poor sleep is actually doing to your body, because most people don't realize how far the damage reaches. Poor sleep has been directly linked to obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and coronary heart disease. It's been linked to increased risk of mild cognitive impairment and Alzheimer's disease. A study of women over 70 showed that getting fewer than 5 hours of sleep significantly increases the risk of falls and fractures. Falls, the #1 cause of injury-related death in seniors, are more likely when you don't sleep enough. Think about that for a moment. And poor sleep is both a symptom of depression and a cause of depression. They feed each other in a vicious cycle that's incredibly common in older adults. So when someone tells you, it's just sleep, it's not a big deal, with all due respect, they're wrong. Sleep is one of the most important things your body does, and when it breaks down, everything else starts breaking down with it. Now, before I give you the 7 tips, I need to tell you something important about how many seniors are currently dealing with this, because it's actually making the problem worse. Many older adults are using over-the-counter sleep medications to self-manage their sleep problems. Those sleep aids you can buy at any pharmacy, the ones with diphenhydramine or doxylamine on the label, they might knock you out, but they come with serious risks for anyone over 60. They increase the risk of dependence, they increase the risk of falls, which we just talked about, and they've been linked to cognitive impairment. So you're taking a pill to help you sleep, and that pill is increasing your risk of the very things that bad sleep causes in the first place. It's a trap. Research consistently shows that cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, called cbt-i, is more effective than medication for both sudden and chronic insomnia without the dangerous side effects. I'll explain what cbt-i is and how you can access it as one of our 7 tips, so keep watching. All right, let's get into the 7 science-backed ways to fix your sleep, starting tonight. Tip number 1. Keep a consistent sleep and wake schedule, even on weekends. This is the single most important thing you can do for your sleep, and it's the one most people ignore. Your body has an internal clock called your circadian rhythm, and it thrives on consistency. When you go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, your body learns when to produce sleep hormones and when to stop. When you stay up late on Saturday and sleep in on Sunday, you're essentially giving yourself jet lag without leaving the house. Pick a bedtime. Pick a wake time. Stick to it 7 days a week. Yes, even Saturday. Yes, even Sunday. It's not exciting advice, but it's the foundation that everything else is built on. Tip number 2. Get sunlight exposure within 30 minutes of waking up. Morning sunlight is the most powerful signal you can give your circadian rhythm. When natural light hits your eyes in the morning, it tells your brain to stop producing melatonin, the sleep hormone, and start producing cortisol and serotonin, the awake and alert hormones. That morning light signal also sets a timer in your brain that says, okay, about 14 to 16 hours from now, start producing melatonin again so this person can fall asleep tonight. So your ability to fall asleep tonight is actually influenced by whether you got sunlight this morning. Step outside for 10 to 15 minutes. Have your coffee on the porch. Walk to the mailbox. You don't need to sunbathe. You just need your eyes to see natural daylight. And no, looking through a window doesn't count. Glass filters out too much of the light spectrum. You need to actually be outside. Tip number 3. Stop looking at screens 1 hour before bed. Your phone, your tablet, your TV, they all emit blue light, and blue light is the exact wavelength that tells your brain, it's daytime, stay awake. When you scroll through your phone in bed, you're literally sending your brain a signal that says the opposite of sleep. I know this one is hard. I'm not going to pretend it's easy, but try it for 1 week and see what happens. Put the phone on the charger in another room 1 hour before bed. Read a real book, listen to the radio, have a conversation. Do a crossword puzzle. Your grandparents fell asleep just fine every night without a phone in their hand. And you can too. Tip number 4. Avoid alcohol close to bedtime. I know. A glass of wine helps you relax and fall asleep. And you're right. It does help you fall asleep faster. But here's what it does after that. Alcohol disrupts your REM sleep, which is the deepest, most restorative stage of sleep, where your brain processes memories, repairs itself, and clears out waste products. So you might fall asleep quicker, but the sleep you get is broken, shallow, and your brain doesn't get the deep repair work it desperately needs. That's why you can sleep 8 hours after drinking and still wake up feeling terrible. You got the quantity, but not the quality. I'm not saying you can never have a glass of wine, but have it with dinner, not right before bed. Give your body at least 3 hours between your last drink and your bedtime. Tip number 5. Keep your bedroom cool. Your body temperature naturally drops when it's time to sleep. That's part of the biological process of falling asleep. If your bedroom is too warm, your body can't cool down properly, and you'll toss and turn or wake up in the middle of the night. The optimal bedroom temperature for sleep is between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I know that sounds cold, but you can always add a blanket. It's much easier to warm up under covers in a cool room than it is to cool down in a warm room. If you're waking up at 3 in the morning and kicking off the covers, your room is probably too warm. Turn the thermostat down tonight and see what happens. Tip number 6. Try cbt-i, which stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia. This is the gold standard treatment for insomnia, and multiple studies have shown it works better than sleeping pills, without any of the side effects. cbt-i works by changing the thoughts and behaviors that are keeping you awake. It teaches you techniques like stimulus control, sleep restriction, relaxation training, and cognitive restructuring. That might sound complicated, but the basics are simple. It trains your brain to associate your bed with sleep again, instead of associating it with anxiety, frustration, and staring at the ceiling. And here's the great news. You don't need to find a therapist or make an appointment. There are cbt-i apps that you can use at home, on your phone or tablet, that guide you through the entire program. Some of them are free, some cost a few dollars a month. But compared to the cost of sleeping pills and the risks that come with them, it's one of the best investments you can make. Talk to your doctor about it or just search for cbt-i apps. You'll find several good options. Tip number 7. Walk for 30 minutes during the day. We talked about walking in a previous video as a way to fight inflammation. But walking is also one of the most effective natural sleep aids that exists. Regular moderate exercise during the day helps regulate your circadian rhythm, reduces anxiety and stress, and physically tires your body in a healthy way that promotes deeper sleep at night. The key is during the day, not right before bed. Exercising too close to bedtime can actually make it harder to fall asleep because it raises your body temperature and stimulates your nervous system. A morning or afternoon walk is ideal. 30 minutes is the target, but even 15 minutes will help if that's what you can do right now. And here's a bonus. If you combine tip number 2 with tip number 7 and walk outside in the morning, you get sunlight exposure and exercise in one shot. That's 2 of the most powerful sleep fixes done in a single 30-minute walk. Not bad for something that's completely free. Now, before we recap, I want to address something that a lot of seniors deal with but don't talk about: sleep disorders. Research shows that the most common sleep-related issues in older adults are poor sleep quality at 36%, sleep apnea risk at 34%, insomnia symptoms at 26%, excessive daytime sleepiness at 15%, and restless leg syndrome at 12%. If you've tried everything I've talked about today and you're still not sleeping well, there may be an underlying sleep disorder that needs medical attention. Sleep apnea in particular is massively underdiagnosed in seniors. If you snore loudly, gasp during sleep, or wake up with headaches, please talk to your doctor about a sleep study. There's no shame in it. It's a medical condition, not a character flaw, and treating it can literally save your life. Also, women over 60. I want to speak to you directly for a moment. Research shows that older women are significantly more likely to experience insomnia than older men. In one major study of people over 70, 35% of women reported moderate to severe insomnia, compared to only 13% of men. If you're a woman watching this who has been struggling with sleep, please know that this is extremely common. You are not imagining it, and there are real solutions. Let's recap the 7 tips. Number 1. Keep a consistent sleep and wake schedule, even on weekends. Number 2. Get sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up. Number 3. Stop screens 1 hour before bed. Number 4. Avoid alcohol close to bedtime. Number 5. Keep your bedroom between 65 and 68 degrees. Number 6. Try cbt-i through an app or therapist. Number 7. Walk for 30 minutes during the day. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a biological necessity. It's when your brain clears out toxins, consolidates memories, repairs cells, and prepares you for another day of life. Every night you don't sleep well, your body pays a price. And over months and years, that price adds up. But tonight can be different. Pick 1 or 2 of these tips and start there. You don't have to do all 7 at once. If this video helped you, hit subscribe, because every week I break down health topics for seniors in a way that's simple, honest, and actually useful. Share this with someone who hasn't slept well in months. It might be exactly what they need to hear. I'm Walter, and I'll see you in the next one. Well rested, I hope.